Hi everyone, this is Choi. I've been performing flute many years at concert halls all around the world. And over the years, one of the most asked questions to me was, how do I tongue so fast? So I wanted to show you guys today all different techniques of tonguing on this instrument, and hopefully at the end of this video, you'll be able to improve your own tonguing technique as well. So get started. So the tonguing techniques on flute is like when we talk, we need our tongue to pronounce certain things. Otherwise, our talkings would be only vowels. So we need this articulation to pronounce and express better on this instrument. Before we get into the single tonguing first, we actually learn without the tonguing when we first learn the flute. So we learn only vowels. Once we can make certain sounds and notes, we learn this tonguing technique called single tonguing. How we learned was pronounce like what we taught. So ta or da, ta, 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 ta. My very first piece that I learned when I started the flute was the Andante from Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And it goes like, so without the tonguing, ta, 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 it would be all slurred. So that was the single tonguing, ta, 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 ta. But then when I moved on to the next piece, which was the Handel Sonata, something like that. I couldn't do it so quickly with single tonguing in that tempo. My teacher taught me this other technique called double tonguing. Double tonguing means teka 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 te. So you are able to do this articulation quickly. So instead of me doing da 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 da, now I'll be able to play teka 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 teka. Of course, to get to that tempo, you need a lot of practicing. That was the double tonguing introduction to me. But then, of course, there are other thousands of pieces that requires double tonguing in all different speeds. So later on, I was able to play more complicated pieces in faster speed. And for those of you who is learning the flute or majoring the flute and asking me how to play the double tonguing faster, it comes in from the slow practicing. Don't despair when you don't get better right away. I have spent so many hours every day practicing and learning more about the tonguing and articulation. It paid off, I would say. But those of you who are looking for more inspirations, there's this app called Tonic that I've been using. You can find your music friends from all over the world. You can open your own practice studio and people will come in and listen to you, give feedbacks and advices, and you can ask questions and so on. If this is something that interests you, you can also download for free and join this practice community using this QR code or from the link in the description below. Moving on to the other pieces of the double tonguings, I will go by the speed. There's Midsummer Night's Dream, so it's ticka 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 ticka. Moving on to the slightly faster tempos. Faster one, which got me practice so much in my teenage days especially, it's the Voliere, means bird, from the Saint-Saëns Carnival of the Animals. There's also Chardage. Something like that. Now that we covered the single tonguing, double tonguing, and you might think the triple tonguing is gonna be super fast, even faster than the double tonguing, but actually it's not necessarily so, because we use the triple tonguing more in the purpose for making the triplets sound more like a triplet. Let me explain to you with the example. So that the triplets sounds like. As you can see, so there's a repetition of the single tonguing in between every triplet. That could slow down your tempo. I mean, if you can do it really quickly, it could be. But then if you do your double tonguing quickly, it's gonna be so much faster. Triple tonguing is more for the triplet sounding more like a triplet, not like when it should be sound like more 3 and 3 than 2 2 2. So that was the introduction of single tonguing, double tonguing, and triple tonguing. And you might think, okay, what's left? And in our modern flute techniques, there has been a lot of more interesting techniques on the tonguing. We flutists actually use the actual pronunciations in our talking while playing the flute. Oh my god, how interesting. If I put the P pronunciation on the flute, it would be. And if I put more pressure enough, it could sound like a beatbox. If you put the pronunciation S or CH, there's a tonguing called slap tonguing. Instead of da da da, you can do. So you put your tongue on the ceiling of your mouth and put a lot of pressure before you pronounce da, da, instead of da. And depends on how strongly you do or lightly you do. If I play it very light touch, it could sound like a strings pizzicato. Something like that. There is this piece called Zoom Tube from Ian Clark, and in the middle of the piece it goes. And you can do something like this. I just invented. I don't know how that's called. And finally, if all you care is about speed, there's one more tonguing technique that's left, which gives you the fastest articulation ever, the flutter tonguing. So the flutter tonguing has been one of the standard flute techniques over the years, and it's been used very widely. For me, in the very beginning, learning the flutter tonguing didn't come very easily, because in Korean language, the rolling the tongue doesn't exist. So this was something completely new. I was in the school bus trying to get this technique. And then I remember this excitement, finally getting it on the flute. If you're looking at the fastest tonguing, it could be also. But then it's also about your fingerings. You have to also follow with your tonguing speed as well. So that's it for all different kinds of tonguing techniques on flute. I know it wasn't so in-depth, some of it, but if you guys want to know more about certain things that we covered today, please comment below and we'll delve into it in the next video. And in the meantime, if you guys are curious about some of the extended flute techniques that I covered before, please check it out here and here. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!